Hello, thank you for having me. Just wait one more second for the last people to sit. I want to start. Um, I'm, lo- I'm keeping my mobile, my phone out of a mute position because maybe we're gonna make a little of a demonstration later on. So if accidentally my mother will call me in the middle of the presentation, I want to apologize in advance. So I'm going to start now by telling you the story of Musketeer. On the 22 in May 2012, I woke up in the morning hearing about this terrible rape of two young women just outside a full nightclub near the place I live in. And this terrible incident hit me twice. The first reason was it's a place nearby which we used to hang out. And the second reason was because my wife was a journalist at the time. She told me, one of the women, when she understood that they're in trouble, she tried to call her father, but she didn't succeed. And I remember saying to myself, it was 2012, we had all those great apps, we have iPhone 4 and everything. How can it be that you can get a taxi in 3 minutes, a pizza in 3 minutes, but if you need help, any kind of help, you can't really get it instantly. So I started to seek and went to Google and see what's out there, and I was surprised. I found lots of apps, panic buttons, emergency buttons. So I started to play with them, and then I learned that all of them, actually till now, works exactly the same. You download the app, you install it, you pre-install maybe 4 or 5 people from your contact list. Maybe you're connected to a dispatch. But if you're in trouble or something happens to you, maybe you see something, they're gonna know about it. But then I said to myself, that's cool, but what good would happen to this girl if her father, which was about 10 miles from her, would know about it? He can't really help her. And then I said to myself, I didn't know back then how, but I knew. I said to myself, if someone inside this nightclub would get any kind of push notification, you can see in his phone, look, 20 meters from me, there's this girl in trouble, someone would do something instantly. And actually, that's the minute the vision of Musketeer was born. I wrote on the whiteboard the first assumption of Musketeer. When you need help, any kind of help, the first help will come from a person nearby. You just need to know about it. And if you think about it, it's not this huge idea. 100 years ago, if you were in trouble, something happens to you, just shout for help and people will hear about it and come to help you. The second thing, I need a clicker. The second thing I wrote, thank you, is Musketeer. Because I love the movie, The Three Musketeers, which they shout all the time, all for one for all. Back then, it seems like a good name. So today, our vision in Musketeer, when I close my eyes and think about Musketeer in 2 years or 3 years from now, it's a worldwide platform of good people that connected in a mobile app in this huge community. And we'll connect anyone that needs help to the best provider, the best user, which is close by and can instantly help him. And we are saying that Musketeers is your local trusted heroes, people nearby. Wherever you're going to go, there are going to be people that have the app, which in one side can get help, but more important, make the difference and give a hand to someone that needs help. Here I'm showing the typical kind of asking for help on the left side. You're connected to a dispatch or maybe, as I said, someone from your contact list. And it's always going to take time for them to understand where you are, to send people, and to get to you. But what we made, we took people helping people and make it socialized. And as I'm going to show you in the next screen, everything in my perspective, when you make it in the social field, it's immediately becoming much more effective and better. We know also how to connect to a dispatch. We're going to alert also people that you want them to know, but really what makes us different is the localization, the people nearby. Wherever you're going to go, we're going to find the most suitable people nearby, going to tell them about your problem, your emergency, and let them help you instantly. Now, social networks and crowdsourcing, of course, change the world. We all know this. Icons, of course, of Facebook. I love 3 of them, which giving me lots of strength that Musketeer will make it. The 3 are Airbnb, which even the Americans that was raised on stranger equals dangerous, opened their homes, their houses, and putting strange people to sleep in. Of course, I guess some of you use Uber, which using Uber, we are making what our parents told us not to do. We're getting into a car with someone that we don't know who is. And sometimes we also making car sharing with people that we don't know. And I love BlaBlaCars. Anyone ever heard about BlaBlaCar? It's an amazing car sharing. It's called BlaBlaCar because you can tell in your profile how much you're going to speak in the ride. Blah is how, that's me. Blah, blah, I'm going to talk a bit. And blah, 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 I'm going to talk all the way from London to Paris. So all those kind of apps teaches us that we can really trust other people. That's how the app looks. Everyone can download, of course, right away. It's open all over the world, and people are downloading it. It's free. And you can ask for, in the homepage, you can see all the time how many people are around you, which are Musketeers. Of course, you don't know who they are because of privacy, but it's for your personal safety feeling. You see, you're going out to the street, maybe you're going to jog or something, and you can see, hey, look, there's 40 Musketeers around me. I'm feeling safe. If something going to happen to me or someone will need help, they're going to instantly help me. And then you can choose what kind of help. If maybe the emergencies, which is of course medical, police, or fire, or I just need assistance. Now, in the beginning, we made only help of emergency. And we have lots, I'm going to show you in a minute, lots of very exciting events in Israel of people saving lives of other people. But then users started to ask us, hey, why do we need to die to use Musketeer? It can help us in lots of other ways. So we implant the assistance, which is daily problems. Maybe you have a problem in your car. Maybe you just have a question. I'm the first time in Mumbai. I can ask the questions and get a very authentic answer from a local guy or woman which lives nearby and can really help me and score 4 points because he's a good person. And then after people will respond, you can everyone that responds to the call, you're going to see immediately on a map who responded. Of course, other responder, you know how to get to him. And there's a chat room with a record of the first 10 seconds of what's going on. And that's it. So you can ask help for car problems or just any question. And of course, from the other side of the spectrum is actually emergency problems. This is a true story from Tel Aviv. This young girl, 13 years old, is walking, and suddenly she's afraid from someone which is walking behind her. And she's doing exactly what her parents told her to do. She pressed Musketeer. And immediately, 31 people, 31 users, you see all the green ones, got the call. They saw this 13-year-old girl. They heard,
Musketeer, your help is needed.
That's what they heard. Thank you. And they responded immediately. 3 of them actually got to her in less than 3 minutes. Now, there's no system in the world that will provide this girl help in 3 minutes. Now, nothing happened, okay? But you understand, of course, you can call her parents, you can call the police. It will always take this 20 minutes until someone would arrive. And again, when it's socialized, when people, it's in the social field, it's much more effective. We don't want to replace the emergency forces, and we can't. But what you can do is get into this gap and give the first assistance. And as I said before, the real revolution is the personal safety feeling of people, men and women. A bit about what we are doing. This is us in Israel, more than 50,000 users. Actually, there's almost no place in Israel that you're going to ask for help and people won't get the call. If they respond or not, it's up to them. It's like hearing a help shout on the street and decide if you want to help or not. Till now, every real call, 2 Musketeers responded in less than 2 minutes. And we don't want more than that. You don't need 40 people to run to help. We need 1, maybe 2, and the algorithm know how to calculate it and to choose from the Musketeers, the users that are nearby, who is the best suitable for this occasion, and make them come for help. We are connecting to municipalities. Now, what we are doing and giving municipalities, it's lots of things. Real time about what's happening in their jurisdiction, and of course, crime, health, and everything. We can give them huge data about what people are concerned about. And of course, getting calls also from people which are not citizens. Let's say if I'm from Israel and I'm going to come to Mumbai, something going to happen to me, I'm going to see something in the street, and I'm going to ask people for help. Of course, it's going to work also, like WhatsApp is working all over the world. In my perspective, more important is what the end user is getting. And again, that is a metrics. It's a network of good people. The third thing is everywhere that Musketeer is working, we see the strength of the community because people are starting to feel bond together, feeling that they're going to get help and give help. They feel much more stronger as a community. And that's the big step for us in our vision of making the world a better and safer place, and that's the strong sense of community is the most important for us in Musketeer. A bit about, really, the last 1 minute, Smart Cities talking about a huge budget, more than $1.5 trillion in 2020. 14% of that is going to go to security. We have streams that we know how to monetize it, but from my perspective, it's not important now. Now we need to build the community. We have Musketeers all over the world, places that we didn't do anything. We have more than 200 users in Brussels, more than 100 users in Paris, which only in the last few months when we didn't do anything there. People are hearing about Musketeer and starting to download it and building their own community. About the company, we raised $1.2 million. We now went out for our Series A raise. We started in Tel Aviv. Our first offices were in Sosa, a beautiful place. You can hear all about it in the next presentation. Lots of people helped us to come where we are today. And the last minute about India. After connecting to delivering change, we decided to leave, to make changes in the business plan and to come to India. I got to tell you, it's my first time in India. And when I see what's going on here about the vision of people of delivering change, and of course, the Smart Villages program, just imagine how much good will happen, will become in those villages, or every place in the state, when people are going to start joining and becoming Musketeers, how much personal safety feeling and good steps will happen, and how we're going to all really change the world and make where we live a safer and better place. Again, I want to thank you all for coming. I want to thank Mr. Power, of course, and the Delivering Change, the Sakal, and if I may, on behalf of the Israeli delegation, for the hospitality and generosity of having us here. Thank you very much, and see you all.